For those of you that may not know me, my name is Summer Ward and I live in Springfield. I almost said Kansas City. I used to live in Kansas City, really close to Lori. And that's actually where we met like 9 years ago. So I've been doing this for 9 years and we've kind of hopped in with you guys some on Sunday nights. And since the Enroll-a-thon, we're doing some Tuesday night trainings and just kind of touching on newbie stuff here in the beginning. We used to do our newbie trainings on Tuesday nights, but we're just kind of combining that now. So I want to kind of talk about that first, and then Lori's going to be our guest speaker tonight. So I really want to dive into let her share a lot. So first thing with newbies is I would just really stress just trying to get involved, like plug yourself in any way that you possibly can. I know a lot of you probably like 90% of people when they join are still working full time, and that's okay. I was working full time when I joined. I was a teacher and a coach, coaching two sports. So I was gone all the time, and I just had to squeeze it into my day. And that's what you will have to do as well. You'll have to find what works for you. You may not be able to get on all the power hours or the Zooms, and that's okay. But you have to find time and make it a priority to fit this business into your day. Okay. So that may look like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, or even 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I know I would do messaging and answering questions and stuff in between classes, which was like 3 minutes when I was teaching. And, on the bus after school, on the way to a game, I was on my phone and different things like that, staying up late, getting up early to work my business as intentionally as I could. And that's really going to be important for you guys. So we all like to kind of brag about how we get to work from our phones, we get to work from anywhere, but sometimes that can be a waste of time if you're not being intentional with it. So if you're just scrolling on Facebook, which is so easy to get into doing, you can, or TikTok, waste, an hour goes by and you're like, oh, I've only been on here for 5 minutes, and nope, it's been an hour. So make sure that you are being very intentional with that time that you do have, so that you can grow your paycheck. And if you want to make this a full-time gig, you don't have to, but if you want to, the time that you're putting in now will pay off later, and then you'll have more time to be able to free up to choose your own schedule and choose when you work. So for now, like I said, I would plug into everything that you can. So you should have a team page. We have chats going. We try not to make too many chats because we don't want to overwhelm you. But at the same time, like even if you have to turn off the notifications, try to stay in there and just check it when you can and scroll back and see what a lot of them will add content in, like posts for you to do, story ideas, apps, videos for you to watch. That doesn't mean, oh my gosh, they're overwhelming me, they're sending me all this stuff that I can't do right now, I'm at work, don't they know I'm at work? Okay, try to get out of that mindset and try to get into the mindset of, like, we're giving you all of these great resources and tools for you to do when you can. Okay, so like I said, squeezing that in when you can. Multitasking, like I don't ever like just sit down at my computer and watch a recorded Zoom, but I do watch them all the time for personal development. And a lot of times it's while I'm doing laundry, while I'm doing dishes, while I'm driving in car rider pickup line to pick up my kids from school, while I'm walking or exercising or whatever it is. So same with you, your eyes don't have to be on the screen the whole time. If you're listening to audibles and things, you can multitask. If you're a mom, you're already good at that, I promise. So just fit this into that as well. So a lot of us really teach trying to get your KPIs done. I know as a brand newbie, sometimes that can be overwhelming to try to get all those things done. So if that is something that you're struggling with, pick 5 or 6 that, like for me, I wrote down a few that I would suggest to one of my newbies. I would suggest host to posts, because host to posts are going to kill like 5 birds with one stone. So you're not only getting these posts up via other people, but you're creating an opportunity for you to be able to message people, for you to be able to add to your network, for you to be able to talk about the products, talk about the business opportunity, all the different things, because of host to post. So if you don't know what host to post is, make sure you're getting with your sponsor and learning all about that. Okay, we're not going to talk about that tonight, but it is just a game changer, and you can start it day one. So it's just getting other people to post about your products or your business for you, and then you're adding their friends to your network. So you're growing. So I would challenge you that if you're brand new, to go to your friends on Facebook. If you have Instagram, go to your Instagram and see how many followers you have. See how many friends you have on Facebook and write that number down today. Even if you're not new, if you don't have 5,000 yet, write that down. Okay. And then I would challenge you to grow that. So, if you've been in for a while and you've got 2,500, I would challenge you to double it, like get to 5,000. If you are brand new and you have 300 friends, okay, double it. Try to double it by the end of April. Get to 600 by the end of April. It's really important that we are always growing our network so that we don't run out of people to talk to. We are network marketers. So making new friends is part of the process, and it's fun if you look at it that way. It all kind of depends on mindset. So we're not just asking you to add complete random strangers. We want you to go to their page. We want you to kind of look at them, make sure that there's someone that you could see yourself being friends with in real life, or if there's someone that's commented on a host to post, that makes it even easier, because hey, if they posted about your coffee, someone comments, you already know they're interested in your coffee. So that's an amazing way to add people who are already interested in your product without having to make it awkward or feel like you're randomly adding people. Okay, so I would highly recommend host to post, which, like I said, includes messaging and adding to your network and interacting with those new friends. So when you go to your friends list, you as a brand new person, you're going to have what we call a warm market. So the people that are already your friends and family, that's your warm market, and that's kind of who you want to speak to about this stuff first, about joining your team or becoming your customers, getting those 6 loyal customers in your first 30 days so you can earn your shopping spree and get bonuses and things set up. But if you have kind of already felt like you're starting to get through that warm market a little bit, adding to your network and interacting with those people is really important. So make sure that you can go to your friends list and click newest friends, and you can start interacting with them on a daily basis. Quality interaction, like don't just like their posts, but make a genuine comment that's like a full sentence, maybe ask a question so they feel like they need to respond to you. That's super important. And then, like I said, posting and adding to stories, make sure you're doing that on a daily basis, but you don't want to become an It Works billboard. So if you just joined today, you don't want your friends to think you got hacked and all you're doing is posting about it. It works, it works, it works, it works. Okay. You want to still be you, and your friends and family want to see that. So if you've in the past always posted about food and your favorite recipes and things, there's my little boy in the background. Good night, bud. If you're posting about those things, you want to keep doing that. If you are posting, like for me, I've got 3 kids, I'm always posting things that we're doing and activities that they're in and those kinds of things. And I want to keep doing that. People are drawn to you for a reason, and you want to keep those friends. So make sure that you're still posting about your life and things that have nothing to do with It Works. I would encourage on a daily basis. So I would encourage you to post like maybe one thing about products, one thing about the business, and one thing about your life outside of It Works every day. And that includes in your stories too. So stories are really, really important. If you're not sure how to work those, how to add, you maybe see other people's stories, but you just don't know how to do that. There's tons of tutorials like on YouTube and stuff on how to do it. I've shared several in our newbie chat and in our team page and stuff. You can always ask your sponsor and they can talk you through how to do that, like adding the polls where people vote and those kinds of things. So, and then self-development. is a really big deal. So you want to fill your cup up. You're going to get a lot of people that tell you no. You're going to put posts up that nobody comments on, nobody likes, and that's okay. I still get that today. Like I can post something and it's going to get 0 likes, 0 comments. That's okay. That doesn't mean people didn't see it. Okay. So people are always watching you. But it is important that on those days where you may feel frustrated, you may have people telling you they're going to order and then they don't, or you may have, whatever, people telling you no, you want to make sure that you're filling your cup up. And in the beginning, that may just be like watching Zooms and watching things that other people are doing in this business so you can learn. And then as you go, you may want to be reading books that are filling your cup about yourself. And personally, I try to do my Bible study in the mornings and things like that. So there's lots and lots of different ways that you can fill your cup up with personal development. Okay. That's enough from me. If you guys have questions though, as we go, don't hesitate to ask those in the chat, and we'll kind of go from there. But Lori, I kind of wanted you to start by just sharing a little bit about your story and when you got started, and then I'll kind of ask you some questions as we go, but you just kind of take the wheel. And
okay, Summer, thank you so much for having me on your team Zoom, and thank you so much for allowing us to hop in during this Enroll-a-thon month. I'm really excited. If you guys are not hopping on those Enroll-a-thons, I know Summer said it, but I'm going to say it again. Jump on them. I'm jumping on them. Listen, I've been in the business for almost 10 years. Summer and I got to know each other 9 years ago when both of us were fairly new into this business because we had local teams that were getting together and doing big meetups. And I want to encourage you, if you don't have a local team, grow local. It's so fun. I miss it. We have grown such an amazing local leadership here in Kansas City, and we've all branched out. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to kind of grow up and grow into our own big teams. But such a fun time and fun memories with you, Summer. So thank you. I'm so honored to be on tonight, and thank you for inviting me. So my name is Lori Conway. I will be celebrating my 10 years in June, and I cannot believe it. This business found me as a struggling stay-at-home mom of 4 crazy kiddos, 5 years and under. I had 4 kids, 5 years and under at home, and I think if anybody were to look at me and think, oh, she could do well at this business, you would be lying. Like, there's just no way somebody looked at me ever and thought that, because I was a hot mess. I was holding kids. I was the girl in the grocery store that literally was wearing one baby, had one baby on the cart and 2 on the side to hold it together so it didn't dump over. Like, they had to balance the cart out. That was me. And so if you ever would have looked at me, you would have never thought I'm going to ask her to join this business. But, a friend of mine in my MOPS group, Mothers of Preschoolers, if you're familiar with that, introduced the business to me through the wrap. Have any of you, throw up in the chat, have you tried the wrap? I'm just curious. If you've tried it, throw up a 1. If you've never tried it, throw up a 2. Let me know. I've never tried the wrap, and I'm going to open up my chat so I can see it here. If you haven't tried it, you guys, ladies, gentlemen, if there's any guys on here tonight, this is what exploded my business. When I found out about the wrap, I knew I was all in this business. I didn't really want to grow a business, if I'm being really honest. I just wanted to make a couple extra $100 to get my nails done, which is crazy because my nails aren't done right now. Okay. And it sounds crazy because if you would have known me, you would never looked at me and said, oh yeah, she's done up. She needs some, nail money. No. I married my high school sweetheart that I love very much, but he was a cheapskate, and we didn't have any family around, none. And I had 4 kids, 5 years and under, and I had no help. He worked about 65 hours a week, was gone all the time. I just wanted some me money. I wanted to go out and get my nails done as an excuse that the days that I couldn't get ready, which it was days upon days that happened, because I literally was taking a shower with my children to be able to get a shower, if any of y'all can relate to that, right? And so I just wanted to be able to look down at my hands and say, something looks good. After I'm peeling like layers of puke off and whatever, because I'm layers of motherhood, right? And so I was literally, honestly, if I'm being really gut honest with you, I was living my dream as a stay-at-home mom, but in the midst of living my dream with my 4 beautiful children and married my high school sweetheart, something was still missing. Like, life wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? I kind of thought that I would feel a certain way,
like,
oh, I've just had my last baby, like life is good, but something was missing. And everywhere that I went, I was Kale's mom, Ella's mom, Fisher's mom, Lily's mom, Quentin's wife. I didn't have a name, and I didn't necessarily need that, but I started to feel this like sense of like I didn't know who I was anymore. I would show up at events, I would show up at things and be introduced as not my name anymore. People would ask me like, what do you do for a living? No, I stay home. How many of you can relate to that? And the conversation goes south, right? And so I just became this person that I was like a walking zombie. I didn't sleep. I lived in my yoga pants. And I thought, if I could join a business and just make a couple $100 to put my nails on, that's all I needed, because I started to feel just a little tinge of bitterness start to kind of root in my life. And I didn't like the feeling because I became jealous of my husband getting up and supporting our family of 6. That's a pathetic thing to say out loud, but that's how I felt. I felt like if I could just switch places with him. And ladies, I was living my dream as a stay-at-home mom, but I wanted to be so desperately just to get out of the house, to go to work, to have lunch with friends, you know what I mean? And not have kids on me 24/7, even though they were a huge blessing. So this business came into my life where I didn't have an opportunity that I didn't have the time to be able to spend into a business. So Summer was talking about, you know, using your time intentionally. I'll talk about that here in a moment. I didn't have time. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the extra funds. I must have missed the thing about the auto ship because that didn't even register to me. But I knew that if I was going to do this, I was either going to quit, and I didn't quit, or I was going to be committed. Because I came home that night with a wrap on my belly, all excited. It was late at night, and Quentin was laying on the couch watching some sports game, and I came through the garage door into the living room, and I was like, ta-da! Like showed him the wrap on my belly, and he literally like rolled his eyes and went to bed. And because I said to him, ta-da, I'm doing this business. And he looked at me, kind of rolled his eyes, went to bed. I never heard another word. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, okay, he's mad. And most of us would have been taken out of the game at that point. And I don't know what was in me that didn't take me out of the game, but I didn't ask him before I joined, because I knew if I had asked him before I joined, he would have given me all the reasons why it wouldn't have worked. You're a stay-at-home mom. You don't have the time. Like, what are you trying to do? It's one more thing in our lives that we don't need. We don't have the money. You know, he would have given me all these reasons as to why not. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. And so I just did it, and I signed up for that nail money. And ladies, I made that nail money in 10 days. At that very moment when my husband went to bed, I made a decision. I'm either going to quit. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to do this. And so I remember making a post on Facebook, and Facebook was a baby then. I made a Facebook post. I said, and probably some of you heard me say this story before, and it's kind of funny, but I'm like, who wants to try a skinny wrap? And I had literally 2 likes and 1 comment. So when Summer talks about when you put a post up and you get nothing, I literally got nothing, because you want to know who the comment was? It was my mom, and her comment, she was one of my likes too. And it was my mom, and she said, that sounds so good. And so at that point, I could have literally just like quit, gone to bed, and never tried this business again. And so I look back, and I think there was something in me that kept pushing me forward. And it wasn't that nail money, because ironically, I don't have my nails done now, right? Not that I don't have the money to get my nails done. I got the money to get my nails done, but it's not a priority anymore. It's fun, yes, but my priority was to pour into myself, because I had that little root of bitterness starting that I didn't want to manifest into my life and other areas of my life and damage other areas of my life. I didn't want to damage the mother that I was or was becoming. I didn't want to damage the wife that I was or that I was becoming, because I literally had married my best friend, and I was getting jealous of him going to work. And so we were like 2 ships passing in the night. We were not dreaming together. We were doing life together as roommates more than anything, because we were sleeping on opposite schedules with 4 kids. He was getting up and go to work. I would literally see him passing in the middle of the night or in the morning early as he was leaving for work. So I wanted to be able to get back to be able to dream with my husband again. And so when I said yes, I made my initial goal within that first 10 days by selling wrap cash. So ladies, we have coffee that we can sell samples with. Sell your samples. Your cash is so incredibly important because your cash can do so many things. It just brought us to Universal. It just brought us to the Kennedy Space Center. It just brought us to an airboat tour. I paid all cash for the vacation that we took on a whim, literally planned in 3 days. 3 days, paid cash for the entire trip, paid cash for all those little adventures because of my coffee cash or my sample cash. So don't ever underestimate what that sample cash can do for you. Within that first 10 days, I made that initial goal. My light bulb moment happened. I thought, oh my gosh, I think my sponsor said something about the steps to success. And Summer touched on those just a minute ago. If you get 6 customers, and you share this product with people, with 6 customers each and every month, you share this opportunity with 3 people and teach them to do the very same thing. So you got 6 customers, you share the business opportunity with 3 people, teach them to get their 6 customers. You literally can write your own paycheck, Lori. That's what my sponsor told me. I said, really? Because you just joined like 2 days before me. She's like, no. My sponsor told me this. And so I trusted her, and I trusted her sponsor. I didn't know her sponsor, but I knew her sponsor had made a couple $100 that turned into a couple $1,000, and then so on and so forth. So I thought, okay, well, it must be true. So I'm just going to start doing that. I'm going to print my steps to success out. I'm going to introduce this product, this wrap, because literally I think summer we just had like fat fighter screens and wraps were basically the only in defining gel were literally the only things that we had. I'm going to run and get my 6 customers, and I'm going to sharing this business opportunity. As I started to do that, my business started to explode. My paycheck started to like explode. My first paycheck in this business was $47. Okay, that was a laughable amount, but ladies, I was excited about that because I'd already made my initial $200 goal within that first 10 days just in sample cash. So I knew now that if I actually work the steps to success, that I got my 6 customers, my 3 distributors, helped them to do that very same thing, that $47 would start to compound. And it absolutely did exactly that. Within the first 3 months of my business, I was able to go ruby, emerald, diamond, and I was making what a teacher made inside the 4 walls of my own home as she would in her classroom. And so then at that light bulb moment for me happened, I thought, you know what, I didn't necessarily join this business to change my life. I joined this business to pour back into me so I could be a better mom, a better wife, pour back into me to make me feel better. So that way I'd be a better person, right? And I started to realize that, oh my gosh, maybe this is a lot bigger than I gave it credit for. And if I continue to keep doing these steps to success, maybe my paycheck might continue to grow. And what if I found other moms that were just like me that just wanted a couple extra $100? I could teach them how to do that. And then I would teach them to teach somebody in their life that needs that very same thing, a couple $100. And if I could teach people to be successful, I would be successful too. That's what's beautiful about this comp plan is that if I teach you to be successful, that helps me to be successful. The comp plan pays you to help your team be successful. So don't for a minute think that you're in this business by yourself. You're in this business for yourself. You're your own boss, but you're never in it by yourself. And so I would encourage you to find some people to take under your wing and help them to make their couple $100. And as I made that $1,900 paycheck as a diamond, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, because my husband and I were already having conversations. Remember, he's a cheapskate. And I can say that he still is to this day. God love him. But it balances out. It's a really good thing. And so the great thing about it was that light bulb moment happened because our conversation started kind of taking place when Lily at the time was a baby. When she would go to school, I was going to have to get a job. He was always saying, Laura, you do realize you're going to be going back to work, right? I don't even want to talk about it. I can remember him coming to the laundry room talking about it one night. And I got so mad. I'm like, I'm so exhausted. I'm not sleeping through the night. I can't even think about our baby being 5. I can't even think about going back to work and putting our kids on a school bus because I'm driving them and I'm going to volunteer in their school classroom and I'm going to sit and eat lunch with them. And I didn't know how I was going to do that and I work a full-time job also. And so those conversations were already starting to take place. So when that $1,900 paycheck hit as a dime, I thought, game freaking on. I'm going to show more people to do what I just did. I'm going to grow my paycheck so that way I'm never going to have to say yes to a full-time job ever. I'm going to say, you know what, babe, I am going to make this my full-time gig. I'm going to send my kids off to school and I'm going to work this business during the day when they're at school. And then I'm going to have all the freedom that I want. Because again, I wanted to be part of this business. Why? For that freedom as a stay-at-home mom, to be able to stay a stay-at-home mom and to be able to pour back into me to be a better mom and a better wife. And so fast forward 6 months, at that point, Quentin was not in the business with me. He was still working at his full-time job. And I was making some really good money at that point as a double diamond, with triple diamond, literally making a lot of money, a lot of money. My husband makes 6 figures as a banker, and he worked commissions. This is residual. It's totally different. And he didn't understand that. So every time I get a paycheck, he'd be like, "Oh, that was really good, but like, what's next month going to look like?" You know? And he honestly meant that. Like, cause he's like, I got to hustle for the month of, April, and I get paid for April, but then May comes, I better have it loaded up because I got to hustle again. I'm like, no, babe, I don't really quite understand it, but I've been told that if I print out my steps to success and I complete these each and every month, my paycheck can go up if I show other people how to do that very same thing. He's like, okay. And so I would literally take him by the shoulder and say, give me 90 more days. I'm going to guarantee us a $500 pay raise. I'm going to guarantee us another $500 pay raise each and every month by doing these steps to success. Because ladies, if you help people in this business get started, you get up to $150 in unlimited cash bonuses each and every week. And I started including that into my earnings. And as my husband started to see that, at first he was like not on board. But as he started to see the money coming in, he's like, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. And literally about 9 months into the business, I can remember he was like walking over laundry out the door, right? I think I was actually breastfeeding at the time. Had a baby on my booby and kids everywhere, cartoons, craziness going on in the morning. And he's climbing over piles of laundry to get out the door to go to work. And I looked at him with a smile on my face because I felt it, like in my core, I felt it. Nobody could tell me that I wouldn't be able to do it. I felt it. It was something that no one gave me this confidence. It came from within. And I said, I'm going to retire you and you're going to do this business with me. Like, I was that excited. He's like, I don't think so. I'm going to work. That's like a vacation. I'm out of here. Like, I'd never do this, right? And what's ironic and funny about that, about a couple months in, he joined the business with me, ready to work it, because there was chatter. Your wife's making money as a stay-at-home mom. Oh yeah, he was really free to talk about that, right? Like, yeah, you should hook your wife up, and you guys should talk to her about it. And so as we started to do that, he joined the business and came on board too. And he started bringing the iPad to work and doing things that work. Kind of what Summer was saying. His hunger started to kind of switch. His focus started to switch because the money that I was pulling in was more than he was making in a month. And ladies, by the time he had that vision, he was bringing his iPad. He was getting hungry for this business. Even though I said that he didn't quite see the vision yet, when I made that comment to him with him leaving work. But he texted me, and I so wish I would have kept this text because I think this was before screenshot days. But I wish I would have kept the text that he had sent to me. He said, babe, there's more opportunity here with you with It Works than there ever be with my career. And his career, ladies, was a banker. He was a vice president of a bank, a local bank, made 6 figures, lived very comfortably. And he saw that there was more of an opportunity with what I had my hands on because of the growth that was happening. And literally every time that I would say, I'm going to do it, I accomplished that goal. And it's not because I said it, it's because I got my butt to work. I literally shut my mouth and went to work. I didn't complain about people not messaging me back or people not showing up for a wrap appointment or so-and-so not joining or, sharing with him that all these girls that are going to join, but they didn't join. Like, I just went to work and I just told them that it was going to happen. I had this confidence within me that it was just going to happen. Didn't really know how it was going to happen, but I knew it was going to happen if I kept moving forward, kept printing my steps, kept sharing this with products with people, getting them on board with the products, and kept sharing the business opportunity. And he came home from his business, from his banking career, 15 years. Retired that business to work this business with me full time about a year after I joined. And if you would have ever asked him the night that I walked in with a wrap on my belly that he'd be doing this full time with me, he would have absolutely said no way possible ever. He would have ever even attempted or looked. He said network marketing was for people that didn't know better. And I was honestly ignorant. I didn't even know what network marketing was. So thank God somebody asked me than my husband. Because if they would have asked my husband, we would have not been here. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, but his vision was different. His vision was on a 9 to 5, and his job was paying him enough to stick around. Right? When the financial collapse happened of 2008, my husband became a completely different person. I saw the man, like literally, that was my best friend, happy go lucky, become a very, very angry, different person. And I knew he needed out. I just didn't know how I was going to make that possible. And I was not even introduced to this rap or this business until 2011. And I believe God put it in my path for a very distinctive reason, for a lot of different reasons. Hindsight's 2020, right? I didn't know all the reasons at that time. But when I said yes, I prayed at night. Have you ever prayed at night when you're, laying in bed, ready to fall asleep, and you're like, God, like my life's crazy right now. I have 4 kids and there's not enough time in a day, and I want to do this business, and I don't know how to fit this into my life. Just bring me people. I'm so excited I can't sleep. Bring me people that are hungry for this business too, that are hungry for a change too. And as I started to pray that, God started to bring me people, and I started to be obedient in that. And I can remember there were times that I didn't want to do a lot of things that I did. I didn't. I would wrap women. I remember a lady getting off work at, she closed at midnight, and she came over to my house at like 12:40 to put a wrap on. Most people would have said no. I said yes. And knowing that I'd be up in a couple hours nursing a baby, knowing I'd be up in a couple more hours with 4 kids. And so I said yes to a lot of things that most people would have said no to, that bought me my success today. And I haven't quit, because I know that there are women just like you that are on this Zoom that are hungry for a change. I know there's women on this Zoom right now that have been around for a while that are still hungry for a change, doubting that they can do what it takes. And I'm telling you, you absolutely can do what it takes to be successful in this business. You just got to get out of your own head, and you got to pray for a way. I didn't know what that path would look like. I just knew to show up during the midst of that. Like I would say, okay, God, show me, and just let me say yes to everything. Let me say yes to everything. And if it's not meant to be, then take it away from me. And as I started to say yes, doors started to open, and Clinton came home to work with me a year into this business. And we've been working at home together for now, no, almost 9 years. Crazy. In August, it'll be 9 years, summer. And this has given him an opportunity to be able to pursue other things, which is really fun, to be the dad that he would have never been able to be. He's got a property business that he does. We have rentals that we've been able to buy through this business, and he manages all those and has taught our kids a lot of things about running properties and doing different things. And it's just been so exciting to be able to see that. And as a stay-at-home mom, if y'all can relate to that and you're a stay-at-home mom, I wanted to be able to give back to my husband in a way that he had been able to give to me. And I can say that with full emotion, almost crying, because I felt like there were days that he got up to go to work, and yeah, sometimes I was jealous of that. But he was sick as a dog going into work because he had a family of 6 to support. He didn't have a choice to go to work. He knew that when he dated me in high school, that was my lifelong goal, is to be a stay-at-home mom. So he honored that, and we made it a possibility. He made it a possibility. He made my dreams come true. So the least that I could do was say to him, babe, I worked my butt off. I closed my mouth. I shut my mouth of complaining or nagging, and I just went to work, and I'm going to show you that I'm going to buy you that same freedom that you've allowed for me. And that has given him that freedom to be able to have choices in his life. So if you're on here and you don't have a goal as to what you want in this business, it can start out as very simple: nail money. And you can be me 10 years later, not even caring about nail money, right? It's about the freedoms that it offers. It's about the freedoms that when you have your spouse sitting, you buy you at the baseball game, that normally he'd be at a 9 to 5 job, and he's able to have that flexibility to do those different things with you now and your family. So anyway, there's a lot of different versions of my story. It's 10 years in the making, and my story is still unfolding. Believe it or not, it's still unfolding. And I'm excited to say that, because I do believe that it works a lot with people to have beach money and walk away and earn that beach money. But God has me here working this every day for a reason. I'm not really quite sure of it some days,
Yeah.
because 10 years is a long time. It's a long, most people don't stay at careers for that long. And I've seen a lot of people come and go. If I can be really honest, there's been a lot of hurt. There's been a lot of people really mean, and Summer can probably speak to that on her end too. A lot of people gave up on themselves. A lot of people gave up on commitments they made to me. And I'm still here showing up every day because I know there's so much more. It's not about me. It's not about me. If I never make another dime in this business, I never make another dime. I'm totally fine with that. It's about the lives that need to be changed. And I really feel that God has a calling on my life to continue to show other moms how to make a way when their families are broken and they need it. And so that's the version of my story that I want to share with you tonight. But there's so many more.
I absolutely love it. I like so many things that I can relate to. I'm married to my high school sweetheart too, and just like all the things. He makes a great income. We own our own business. He's a dentist, and but like you said, like the freedom of things and the choices and the we're actually looking at investing in some rental properties and things like that. So just multiple streams of income that you would not be able to do without this business, because you can't just go buy a house and turn it into a rental property if you don't have the money to go buy the house. So just, and that's just a small example. I know a lot of the top leaders in our company are doing things like that too, and it's just like they kind of, you've probably heard the term the rich get richer. That's because they have more opportunities and they make smart investments with that.
Yeah,
And
and then with that being said, Summer, I think it is, ladies, when you're making money, and invest your money. Like those sample sales, don't just sorry, don't just piss it away, because you're going to feel like at the end of the month or the end of the day that you're not making money. I would take my wrap sample cash at the very beginning and I would hoard all those bills. And I can remember a fun little story at the very beginning of my business. Every Thursday night, people would come over, and women would come over and wrap. And I don't care how many kids they had. I had 4. Like, bring it. Like, I don't care. You don't have any. I didn't take a shower either. Like, we haven't eaten dinner either. I'm gonna throw on some pizza rolls. I don't care. Come over. You gotta try this wrap. Like, I was so excited about it. And I would hoard the cash. And I can remember one night, I called Quentin at work and I said, "Hey, when you come home tonight, I hired a babysitter and we're going to the Olive Garden." It was like my favorite restaurant ever. He's like, "What? Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, I had." He's like, "Where'd you get the money?" I was like, "Well, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that." So I hired a babysitter. We went to dinner that night. And when the bill came, he got his wallet out to pay. And I said, "No, no, 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 no." I literally got my purse out and I started laying like $20 bills down. And he's like, "Where are you getting this money?" I'm like, "Remember that Thursday night when you're golfing in your golf league with the bank?" Yeah, every Thursday night until about midnight, I'm having people come over and they're wrapping and I'm getting cash. So I'm investing back into us, into our relationship. And that started to kind of open his eyes too. Because it wasn't just about Lori getting her nails done, or Lori's getting this, or buying that next Radon mug, which Radon didn't exist in. But you know what I mean? Like, it was pouring back into our relationship and knowing that I valued him and what he was doing for our family. And so if you're finding it hard for your husband or spouse to jump on board, don't expect them to, first and foremost. It's your thing. It's your vision. God gave you that vision, not your husband. Like I said, thank God it gave it to me, because my husband probably would have never caught it, right? They're like, "Quentin, Quentin." So he had to tell me to be able to run after it. And then I started pouring back in. And then he finally was like, "Okay, this is real. It's not just talk. This is really happening. Oh my gosh, Lori. Okay, well, okay, $500 more. Oh, you're going to get another raise? Okay." And then I would show him. It would come through on my phone. I'm like, "Look, babe, look, wow, I'm impressed." So it's just to being able to reinvest that money in some way. And I'm not just talking about like in a big way. Reinvest it into your relationship, reinvest it into your kids, reinvest it into the why you got started into this business.
yes, absolutely. I was not the smartest with my money at first, and there's been times throughout, and I think that that's really important to share. I mean, a lot of people will I will see people making good sample cash, making good checks, and then saying they can't afford their auto ship. Invest in that. You need to be on a product. That's one thing I didn't talk about for newbies, but if you just joined and you're like, "Well, I can't afford an auto ship," you need to change that mindset to, "I'm going to sell some samples so that I can afford my auto ship. I'm going to sell, 5 sample packs, and then I'm going to put that money in my account. And then I'm going to order some products that I can try, some different things that I can talk about, some more samples that I can sell and make even more cash." So it doesn't have to just be you spending money on products. It can be you investing into products that you can sell and make a
The
turnaround.
only way that you're going to be able to be a responsible and profitable is key here. Business owner is to invest back into your own business.
Yes.
If you're not investing back into your own business, you cannot sell products that you're not using. You can't talk about products that you've never tried. It's really important. People are going to pick up on that. You can't fake that. People are going to know that you're lying or you're not being honest and truthful with them, and they're going to find somebody else. If they're truly interested in our products, they're going to find a Lori or a Summer that are showing up every day, that are showing and using the products and having a testimony with them, and going to choose them because they want somebody that's sold out for it. Think about when you buy something. Do you just buy it on a whim off an infomercial? If so, then they were a really good actor, right? But you're going to buy it from someone that's very trusted, and you're going to say, okay, I believe her, so I'm going to buy that. And it's really important. Like I had made forever ago, Summer, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but a YouTube video years ago, 8 or 9 even years ago, about how to run your business for free each and every month. And it's still very possible to do today. And all you have to do, because listen, I couldn't afford an auto ship. If I told my husband I had about $80 to $100 and we didn't have cable. Do you know what I mean? Like that would have been like a big fat no. And so what I did with that hoarded cash is I would take it, I would set my money aside that I was going to reinvest into my business on wraps. You can do it on coffee. You can do it really on anything now that you can do sample sales. Turn around, sell all those samples to make all your money back. I made 200% profit back because I was investing in my business. And that is how 100% hands down I grew my business, is because it committed me to wrapping people. It committed me to getting products on people, talking about products. And it gave me a goal to sell 8 wraps every month to make that money back twofold, to be able to get it and reinvest it and do it again the following month. Without that auto ship running, you're not going to sell product. You're not going to push yourself, and you're going to wonder where your month went.
Yep, absolutely. I loved how you were talking about sometimes you'd have no shows for wrap appointments. I had that too. And you guys are lucky enough that you don't have to deal with the meeting in person part. You know,
It's the truth. Yes.
yeah. So I had a question today about just people getting discouraged because of potential customers who said they were going to order and then they changed their mind last minute. Okay. That still happens. That's going to happen. Okay. But that person is still a potential customer. That doesn't mean that they, until someone like blocks you or says, leave me alone, they're really still a potential and they may order later on down the road. It's important for you to keep that relationship. So don't be mean to them. Don't ignore them. Don't say, okay, well, fine. Like give them positive feedback and then stay their friend on Facebook and encourage and, go and, or not encourage, interact with them and be a good friend. And chances are they're going to come back whenever they are ready. And same goes with potential distributors. I've had lots of people along the years, I know Lori has too, that say they want to join, they want to join, they don't, they want to join, they don't. And then, maybe we have a sale and that sparks their interest, or maybe they have a change in life, like they have a baby or they have, whatever, they lose their job, who knows? And then it's their time. And so it's really important for you, like she said, with the products of people, they're buying you, and it's important for you to keep up that relationship with them and being kind and genuine. Another question I have.
Never know what's going on in somebody's life.
Right. Absolutely.
And maybe they're just waiting for that, above all, just being kind and understanding and say, I don't need you in this business for anything for me. I just know that you need it. And I'm going straight to the top with or without you, but I would certainly love to help you to do it along with me. Never take it in a place of I need you. The idea is it's a compliment to what you're already doing.
Yes, absolutely. Christine said I had a customer I had to reach out to 27 times before she became a
customer.
customer.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I mean, follow up. It's proven fact that in sales, and that's what we're in. It takes a lot. I think it's like 8 to 12 times is the average, but sometimes it may take 27, and that's okay.
If you gotta assume the sale too. You gotta ask them. I think so many people are like, I ask, and I'm like, send me a screenshot. I'm like, when did you ask? I don't even see an ask in there. You know what I mean? And I do it too. because I just kind of beat around the bush, you know? Have you ever been in a conversation with somebody and just like it never is going anywhere? It's just in circles and in circles and in circles. Someone's got to ask the question, hey, Melissa, why don't you join me today? Like, what's holding you back right here, right now? Like, let's get you started right now today. And then when you start to say very direct, you start to ask very, very direct questions, guess what happens? They give you a direct response and you find out what's really going on in their life. You know what? My husband's not really on board. I thought I was going to be able to join, but I'm not now. And then those questions would be like, hey, what kind of questions does your husband have? Like, is he open to having a conversation with me? I've talked to husbands before. Is he a financial guy? Does he want to know, like, what's his worst fear? Well, I've done this 2,800 times with this company, that company, this. Then you're looking at, you got a mountain to climb, friend. And I want to show you how to do that. And here's how you're going to do that. You take your steps to success. My husband was a very financially minded guy too. There's no way that you can lose money with this business if you run it the steps to success way. You're going to go find 6 customers and you just start sharing that with them. And you talk to them in a way that they can talk to their husband to come back and say, okay, they're ready to join because they know they have a business plan. Most women are just like, my husband said no because I've tried it before. You know, they love you and they've seen all your failures and they don't believe that you're really committed this time. You're just going to waste money or waste time.
I think that's so important that you said to ask and assume the sale because, like she said, a lot of times it's because they don't know. I didn't know anything about this when I joined. I didn't know how. And a lot of times I will explain the little things like what the steps to success is and that I'm going to teach you how to get 6 customers and 3 distributors a month. And they're like, oh, that's all you do? Like, that's what I do. Like, if you explain to them what we do, because a lot of times people don't really know, like, how do you make money selling coffee? Like, what? Like, how you make a lot of money by selling coffee, like they just don't understand it. And so a lot of times it's just teaching them and educating them because they
And I
just
think a lot of times with that summer is that so many of us get caught up in all the things that we want to do, our KPIs and this story and that cute graphic. And a lot of us are like, how do I even make money? I've done all these things today and haven't made a dime. How do you make money? You ask people to use the products and you ask people to join this business. That's it, hands down. If you're not doing that every day, then you're wasting your time with all your cute graphics.
yes.
It's the truth. I mean, we used to talk about this all the time in person stuff, Summer, before all this crazy, awesome technology, really, because I feel like it used to be so much harder than it is today, because we had to get in front of people. We had to do expos and we had to network old school ways. Yep. And so when we had to, when we talked about like this, we talked about the fluff, people that made these beautiful billboards for expos that spent hours upon hours, the perfect little scrapbook of a before and after picture album, but didn't earn them a dime. And then they got to the expo and talked to nobody. They didn't ask anybody to try the wrap. They didn't ask anybody to join the business opportunity. And they walked away with a big flop because they didn't use this as their number one money earner. You have got to ask people. And so if you're doing all of the things and you're not asking, you're not seeing success in your business, that's why, because you're not assuming this, you're not asking those questions. You've got to start asking people.
One of the other questions I had was just like overcoming your own excuses. And I know that a lot of times people will turn their why into their excuse. So like, for example, your kids, if you've got kids, sometimes you turn that into an excuse. And I know Lori and I were just talking today about how she said she was, happy to jump on and everything, but she'd just be coming back from a track meet. And so those 4 little kids that she had that, 5 and under are now teenagers who are involved in all the activities. So share a little bit about how like your day looks different with
it looks so different. It's like similar but so different. It's still really chaotic. So for those of you that have little kiddos, throw up in the chat how old your kids are. I want to see that, or if you have kids, how old your kids are, because when my kids were little, it was chaotic. They needed me for every little thing, every little nose wipe, butt wipe, diaper change, all of the things, right? Like physically very demanding. But I was very structured as a mom with nap time. I meant business. Like, I don't care if my 5-year-old's not taking a nap anymore. That's cool, but you're staying in your room for an hour and you're learning to love how to read because mom needs an hour break, even before our business. Like, I need an hour by myself if I'm going to be a good mom.
Yep.
right? And so I kept that structure and I was very disciplined with that through my chaotic day. Okay. So now my life, fast forward almost 10 years later, my kids are a lot older. I have a 10-year-old, a 16-year-old. Like I have all these kids and all these responsibilities and all these different phases of life. I have 4 kids in 4 different schools. 4 kids in 4 different schools. Yesterday alone, I drove to the school at 6:45, at 8:30, then back, right? At 1:45, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, and then activities until 10:40 last night. Okay? And so my life is so much crazier than it was 10 years ago. So I want you to just take a moment and ask yourself this question. What does your life look like in 5 years? Just take a minute, close your eyes if you can without falling asleep, because I know it's getting late. And ask yourself, like, okay, how old will I be in 5 years? How old will my kids be in 5 years? How will my life look differently in 5 years? If I don't change anything about what I'm doing right now, will I have more time or less time? Will I have more resources or less resources? Because as your kids get older, guess what? Life gets a lot more expensive. It's not the diapers that are piling up. It's a lot of other stuff, right? That I would have, it blows my mind how expensive these kids are, right? And so I want to encourage you in the midst of your crazy life. If you can't give 8 hours a day, I'm not asking you for 8 hours a day. You have to commit to yourself what that looks like for you each and every day, but stay committed to yourself. So I'm doing a host to post challenge right now with a lot of ladies, a lot of you on this chat, on this challenge, and I'm asking you to commit to yourself. What is it that is committed each and every day that you're going to show up for? How many host to posts are you committed to getting up at each and every day? How many people are you going to ask every day? How much time are you going to invest into your business every day? And stick to it. Don't break promises that you've committed to yourself, because when you do that, you start to beat yourself up. You start to lose confidence in your potential success, because it's like self-sabotage. And so if you've got 15 minutes before you go to your 9-to-5 job, and 15 minutes before your kids wake up, or 15 minutes for your kids, whatever, okay? Then I want you to spend 110% of your energy in that 15 minutes. I don't want you taking 15 minutes of your work time scrolling on Facebook, 15 minutes of your work time yelling at your kids, 15 minutes of your work time trying to unload the dishwasher while you're trying to work. I want you to spend 15 minutes of intentional, uninterrupted time into your business and spend 110%. I promise you, if you do this, you will find so much more time throughout the day, because you'll start to say, oh my gosh, being present where I am in the moment, whether it's with business, whether it's with your husband, whether it's with your kids, whether it's your 9-to-5, when you're present in the moment, it buys time for the rest of the day. Because your kids, when they're little, I can remember, if I would just give them the floor time that they were crying for, even if it was 15 minutes, they'd give me an hour of mommy time, because they just wanted my uninterrupted attention. Think about your business. If you would just give it devoted time, think of how much it would pay you in return, not just financially, but momentum wise too. Think about it. So everything that we do. So my life looks a lot different, but the crazy thing is it's more chaotic than it's ever been, in a different area, in a different way. I just make it a priority every day. I've talked about this before, and I'll cover it really quick. Bookending my days. I bookend my days. I start with the morning with my business with intention. I end the day with intention on my business. So even though I have this Zoom right here, right now, I will, before I go to bed at night, I will spend at least 30 minutes to an hour of sending out messages for host to post, so I can wake up the next morning and have those in my inbox waiting for me to be able to be intentional with. Okay. So I want to encourage you, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's not an hour in the morning, an hour, maybe it's 15 minutes here and 15 minutes there. When you can start doing that with your day, the rest of your day kind of flows, and everything that you're responsible for. If you can show up at a bathroom break, or like Summer was saying, she was a gym coach. She was building her business, working full time. And so how do you do that? You do that on breaks. You do that on lunches. You answer, where you can. You can start batching your time and work time where you can in a car rider line. But if you're starting with intention, ending with intention, there's a lot that can happen throughout the day to really kind of move that success when you are actually keeping it organized. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but life's crazy. And I very easily Summer, I could have said, no, tonight's not going to work, because I got a track meet and I don't know what time I'm going to be home. But tomorrow we have baseball games. Thursday, I've got dance and baseball. Friday, I've got 4 extra kids at my house. When is it ever going to be a good time?
Right.
And so if you're waiting for the perfect opportunity, the perfect time, guess what? It's never going to happen. So stop waiting for the moment that you don't feel chaotic. Stop waiting for the moment that you don't feel overwhelmed to start host to post. Stop waiting for a quiet moment in your house to start your business, and just do it. Stop overthinking everything. Stop having to have all your ducks in a row to be able to get started, and just get started learning to feel your way forward. Things aren't going to be perfect. That's okay. That's how you learn. When you're not perfect and you mess up, you're like, I'm going to do that better next time. And you learn from those mistakes, and you build upon those mistakes, and you start to see those successes start to happen, and you teach your team to do that very same thing, and they start showing up in a lot different ways.
Yes. Absolutely. I think we should end on that. The snowball thing, it's kind of, I don't know if you guys recognized it, but several things she's talked about tonight are a snowball effect. If you're working, your paycheck's going to snowball. And if you're teaching your team to do that, it's going to snowball. If you stop, it's not going to keep building, and it's going to go the opposite way, and it's going to fall apart. It's going to melt, whatever you want to say. Always have to keep going. So even if it's a little bit each day, like she said, find that time, be intentional with that time. So I love that. So thank you so much. I know that, yeah, life is crazy. And so I really appreciate you taking the time to hop on here with us tonight. And I did record, so I will get that to you as soon as I can. Hopefully it'll upload. Like sometimes it doesn't, but I will hope that it does.
I totally get it. Just start with one good habit, and it leads to the next. Promise.
Yes.
Promise. Just stay committed to yourself. Do not break those promises to yourself, and show up every day. Summer, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Appreciate you so much.
Thank you. You too. You guys have a good night. Thank you for hopping on with us.